Laura Waller, who will be our next presenter, is going to be talking a little bit about softness in her art. And maybe, I don't know about softness of chi, but maybe we'll hear what kinds of softness she's going to be talking about. Laura is an oil painter who's been painting in Maine for over 25 years. She just completed a Vermont Studio Center residency in April. So if you're stuck about what to say to the presenters afterwards during the chit-chat part, you can just ask Laura, how was Vermont? She just got back. And she's going to be talking about her influences in her work and her latest series, East Coast, West Coast. Please welcome Laura.
Thank you. I had to get away. During 33 years as a financial planner, I'd go to Maine to paint as a way of escaping the stock market. Thanks to Merle Donovan and then Lynn Donovan, who ran the workshops, I kept my sanity. First I did watercolors, and then when they came out with oils that had a new formula that you could mix with water, I switched over because there's no turpentine. This first painting is called Pueblo Ceres El Sacopunto. It's a painting that was done that reminded me of my first husband, who said that he really only understood and remembered one thing from introductory Spanish, and that was, may I use the pencil sharpener? I want to talk about three themes tonight. The first one is that my work is representational, or is it? I did a series of sunflowers after I planted some mammoth sunflower seeds, and these 10-foot things came out of the soil here. And as the sunflowers in the series grew, I began to see that my work got more abstract. I also began to see the influence of other artists. At the time I was reading Egon Schiele's catalog about his exhibit in New York of his women, and my work got more erotic. What do you think? I think Egon lives. My second theme I'd like to talk about is my East Coast, West Coast series. Here you'll see a baby surfer dude, one of the fearless 5-year-olds that attacks the water in California. I found that California, you're on the water. With the proliferation of their paddle boats, I think they've proven that you don't have to be religious to walk on water. This is Laguna Beach, where I experienced their beaches at a distance and their coast at a distance. They have massive cliffs, they have rolling endless seas and fog banks, and people are really colorful marks. The next painting, In the Land of Steinbeck, which was done in Monterey, I tried to capture the movement of the people by making these marks, and then standing back from my easel, seeing if I have the right movement captured, if not, coming in and readjusting it, and moving back and forth until it works. It's a very repetitive process, but I think it's kind of glorious when it does work. The next painting you'll see is Red Sky at Night, which I was trying to show California's magical red sunsets over the Pacific. Islands in the distance appear and they disappear into the haze. And finally, the California part of the East Coast, West Coast series is a painting called Alone, which shows no people. It's just the beach in California. I feel California experiences their coast as a distant participation with the sea. Its majesty is really kind of, to me, suggests the insignificance of man. On the other hand, there's Maine. And in Maine, I find you have working waterfronts, you're close in, you're participating with the water. We live in Rocklands Harbor, and I love to watch the green boats go in and out. This is a boat that's called Western Sea. You'll see the gulls swooping in, like incoming torpedoes, and the colorful assortment of objects on the decks was really what attracted me to this particular boat. But the next boat is kind of my saddest painting. I was sitting in the Rockland Cafe after painting, this is a boat called Plan B, and overheard the lobstermen talking about the sinking of the Plan B. I Googled it and sadly watched the Coast Guard video of the sinking of this ship. And if art is all autobiographical, then Plan B is really where I am at this point in my life. I think it's wonderful to be an artist where you can take a blank canvas and create a world or also a memorial. Round Pond is just one of those magic serendipitous places that you come across when you roam the countryside of Maine. Phoenix resting is the unusual angles. I love angles where a boat's coming right at you or a pigeon is going off the side. And my third theme that I'm exploring is softness, as in my feminine side after being in the world of business, as in the atmosphere of a place, the ephemeral nature of it, and softness versus the clashing, harsh world we live in today where confrontation reigns and civility is gone. In my work, you'll see much of the warm palette, the harmonious colors, and predominantly soft edges. This is a painting of Owl's Head where you can see what was an old B&B, and steamships used to come by here to go to the shipyard next door. Still, it's in Camden Harbor at the end of a day when it's quiet and a boat is casting an exquisite reflection on the still waters. The next one, Night of the Biggest Moon, is Cinco de Mayo last year, which was actually the night of the biggest moon. You'll see the full-blown influence of Rockwell Kent on my paintings. If you've been to the Farnsworth and seen his painting of the sun on Monhegan Island, you'll see the influence. I think artist theft, as Picasso says, and I also am greatly gifted to have mentorship that influenced me of Connie Hayes and Tina Ingraham. Private is a quiet moment between two friends, and as a colleague observed, even the faces and the expressions are too private to paint in this picture. Owl's Head in winter is coming up, and this will show you the limited palette of winter when there's so few colors that come through. Only a crow to the left of the tree inhabits this landscape, and this is for a fall exhibition in Rockland's National Wildlife Refuge. I had to ask someone, being from Florida, what kind of a bird is there in the winter, and they said to put a crow in there. It's always safe. So, this is a painting called Devotion. It could be devotion to flag, it could be devotion to sailing, to coming home safely to your home port. And the final painting is called Dinghy, and it shows you the quiet of the grounded pigeon and the dinghy, the pull of the sea while you're harnessed to the shore. This painting also exhibits how I was taught to paint a boat. You paint it like a figure 8 on its side, which happens to also be the symbol of infinity, which to me the sea really is. I want my collectors to be able to come home, take off their shoes, relax, and go into my paintings. Thank you.